Alright, when you lose working in a body shop,
When you work in a body shop that has hourly people and commission people, the hourly people start to take advantage, or the commission people take advantage of the hourly people. They feel like they're getting paid by the hour, so they need to do XYZ. It's not the commission person's job, because, say, if I'm a body man.
okay, not if. Most body men look at hourly people as their slave dogs. Come over here, help me. I need help. Help me hang this hood, help me hang this door, sweep up my mess, clean up all my sandpaper mess. It's not my job. My job is to fix this dent, tear this door down, and push it over to paint. I'm not supposed to sand any further than my allotted spot. Make the paint shop do all that. That's their job, not mine. Unfortunately, on commission, it's fast paced. How fast can you get it done? And if there's a lot of work, just push it through. Who cares? And let the paint department deal with it. And they'll sand it. They'll get the dent where they think it's kind of straight. If it's a little lumpy, who cares? Primer will fix that. Alright, it won't, but this is their mindset. Just push it through. Block it with 80 grit and throw a DA over it real quick with a 180 so it feels like I finished it with 180 grit when there's obviously still deep 80 grit scratches. They think everybody's an idiot and don't see what they're doing. Unfortunately, that leads to issues such as shrinkage, which is really bad. When it's not properly sanded underneath and you prime it and you're in a fast-paced environment, the primer, let's say you're using a fast one, it's dry within an hour to 3 hours, right? If you don't bake it. If you bake it, you're done in about 30 minutes. You're ready to block it, sand it, go. That's great, but there will be some sort of shrinkage. It'll shrink back. The clear and paint and primer always pull tighter and tighter over time. The paint itself, it will not be fully cured for 90 days. I don't care how good of a paint and clear it is. If it's dry in 15 minutes, it's not cured for 90 days. It keeps shrinking and shrinking, which pushes up any imperfections to the surface. And if there's 80 grit scratches, now you got crappy bodywork showing through, making the paintwork look like it's bad, which will cause dieback, and you'll see little lines or haloed edges where it gets all fuzzy. It's not slick. But if they were to finish it properly, when the acceptable shrinkage, you would never see it. It would be so minimal. The shrinkage wouldn't have any straight line scratches. It would be the orange peel would basically hide it pretty well. Moving on from that, I don't know. I'm just going to talk about anything that pops in my mind. Okay, I need to get this out there. I need to talk. When you're in a body shop, the heat during the summer will kill you. It is hard work. It's hard work whether you're in the paint department, you're in the detail department, or you're in the body shop department. It is hard work. That's his bottom line. And it's hot. It will kill you physically and mentally. You think, well, the detail department, they don't have it as bad. They ain't got to stand over here to sweat. Have you ever been inside of a car during the summer? Inside of a car. I don't care if you got a fan directly on you blowing through the car. If you're inside that car, inside a building, or outside's even worse, but even inside a building with a fan, it is miserable. I'd rather be on the outside of that thing sanding a dent all day long compared to being on the inside. That's just common sense right there. But anyways, moving on. Body men like to take advantage of the system. They say, well, it's not on my RO, so I don't have to do it. Right? RO, work order, whatever you want to call it.
Everyone that I've ever met, except for one exception, has been shady. Like, that they never live in one spot longer than a few years. They're always looking for the next body shop to go to.
Anyways, they're always moving. They're never.
It's a good job. It's rewarding. You can do a lot of great things. But let's talk about being a painter. Being a painter is so rewarding. The final product of what you get to do. You get to take something and make it into something beautiful, right? And you get to see that final outcome, which, a lot of people in their jobs don't get to see the final reward, So that is something to keep in mind. You're very blessed to be able to be a painter, to do a great job. And see, there's two things that can happen here. You can either be a great painter and have a rewarding, you get to feel that reward of seeing something beautiful that you created. There's two halves to this though. You can either be a great painter and get to see the rewards, or you can be a horrible painter and constantly see that you just can't do what others in your same industry do. And in a collision aspect, it's all about how perfect can you get it with speed. Anybody can get a clean paint job if they take the time and have the time to nib it out, to tack it off every single time. But in a collision industry where things gotta go, you don't have that luxury. You can't just spray one solid color on the car and say, hey, that's beautiful, it's not modeled, it's not this, that. In the collision part, you have to tint colors on the fly, make them match old faded paint, old dilapidated or factory mismatched paint. A lot of times the factory codes will tell you where it was painted because the same color doesn't match the same color code that was painted at a separate shop or a separate plant. Honda is really good about telling you which plants, so they have alternates for each of those plants, but unfortunately Honda is the only one who does that. Go figure, right? Really trying to exercise my brain. Unfortunately, it feels like my brain hasn't been being exercised lately. I mean, I think of stuff, but, multitask thinking. Like, right now, this is a strategy game. So I want to play this strategy game while discussing this to help myself while educating you on things you need to realize, things that you'll realize happens in the automotive industry or collision industry or brain working right now. Because collision is so different from restoration. People think, well, you work on cars, it's the same. You do this, why can't you do this? It's different. It is so very different. I can't even explain how different it is.
Unfortunately, most people don't understand, and they don't care to understand. I mean,
It's not what they're into, and I don't blame them. They don't need to know every aspect of everything in the world, They just, if they don't want to work on their car, they just need to pay. They want to pay somebody to work on it. There's nothing wrong with that. Just like if I'm going to put in a pool, I can't physically put it in, and I don't really have the knowledge to do it correctly. It'd be cheaper in the long run for me just to pay somebody to do it. And I mean, if they want to educate me in some of the stuff that they're doing and why they're doing it and why they're better than other people, I'm all for that. I like to know that people I hire are passionate about what they do. That's good for everybody, Being a painter, it is very difficult work. It's hard on the body. There is sanding nonstop. You block sand, you dry sand, right? You start with 320 grit dry sand blocking. You got guys out there who say, I know some really awesome painters. One of them's Danny. He works at Carl's Collision Center in Dixon, Tennessee. And his mentality, and it's a lot of awesome collision painters' mentality, and they're right in one aspect. Painters get paid to paint a panel, right? Hold on. This panel, I gotta kill some guys real quick. See, I'm working my brain here. I need to upgrade that. They don't get paid. They get paid repair time on a panel. Let's say a fender. They get paid, or let's say a door. I remember the door pretty good. They get paid to repair a door. All right. The body man fixed this door. The body man had 10 hours. To save the door is cheaper. 10 hours to put bondo. Fix this door instead of replacing it. Which 10 hours you need to replace it. Anyways, so we're painting the exterior of the door only, the skin, the outside layer. All right. And we're gonna blend the back door, blend the fender. Well, they got 10 hours on this door. For repair time, we get paid, or painters get paid. They get paid 10 hours to fix the door. Then a painter gets paid, what is it? A repair panel, you get paid with clear coat, probably 4.6. Let's just say 4.5, just for example. We get paid 4.5 to repair this door instead of a new door. And let's just say the new door was just going to paint outside the skin or whatever. That, we would have had 3.5. So we have 1 hour difference. That 1 hour is typically the time you would spend masking up the panel, feathering all the edges that the body guy did not do with 180 grit, and then feather that with 320 for the outside where you're going to burn the primer in. Now you got that. And good painters like Danny believe that you should only get paid, or that you're only getting paid to do that, and then you're not getting paid to block that panel. They don't give you block time, prep block time at all. you sand it, and he believes the body man should have got it straight enough that it can be DA'd, orbital sanded, without having to use any block sanding by hand, because, well, you just don't have time to do that. A lot of body guys have a problem with that, because they know they didn't finish their body work straight like they should have. See, when a painter gets a new door, they have primer on it, that all they have to do is DA it and paint it. Well, they're only getting paid about the same amount of time for the repaired panel, so all they should have to do is DA it and paint it. It should be straight enough to be DA'd. But a lot of body guys want the painter to hand block it with a block, because they know they didn't finish those edges and stuff like they should have, and they like to blame any waviness on the painter and his paint or his primer. And in all reality, it's typically the bodywork. I personally have only seen like 1 or 2 comebacks that have came back to the shop for paint failure, which they say is paint failure. I've only ever seen, in going on 17 years, I've only seen 2 that were actual paint failures, that were not something else. Typically, when something starts bubbling, it is in the bodywork, the body filler. 1 or 2 things, they didn't sand down in the grooves where they loaded up body filler and they just slapped it on there, or it's a really humid day and they just they didn't prep sol and clean the moisture off of the metal, and or let's just say it's a really cold day and they didn't properly prep the panel, and then they put this mud on there and they mix it too hot, and now that mud that's hot meets that metal that's cold. Well, that creates moisture, and inside there it traps that moisture. It's why body men are like, how in the world did it rust behind my body filler? You know, it was clean metal. Well, it makes it sweat while it's curing, and that sweat makes it rust behind the body filler. And then they want to blame it on the paint, but typically a razor blade tells the whole story, and it's typically body work that is the culprit. Paint, unless you just didn't do correct paint prep, like sand it every square inch like it should be, it's very rare that it's ever a paint failure. Oh no, I'm about to lose. It's okay. I'm just trying to exercise my brain. I'm not near as high as I normally am on this. I know. One of the things you gotta realize is, as much as you hate working with certain people in the body shop industry, you're stuck with them 12 hours a day, every single day. You gotta get along. But that aside, you will hate it. You'll get mad at them, because on hot days, it's just easy to lose your temper really quick. You're just frustrated, things not going your way or whatever. The hotter it is, the worse everything is. Hey, John. What you doing? Yeah, I'm making a video, talking to people that, well, I'm gonna make a video so people can hear me. Good morning. I'm playing Pals. I put in the password, so it'll work now.
What was the password?
I'm gonna tell you.
But did you see all the other games I had? I actually kind of play them a lot.
I'm just gonna let it finish out here.
Yeah, it did.
Thanks, John.